Magic. It's a celebration. Here's yes.
For the funniest guy I know, and I want to thank you for 39 years of all the laughing.
I think or a Secret Santa and what?
And we're real?
What makes New South Window different?
Oh, basement.
Good. It's in progress.
In an affordable pilot that nationwide network of phone doctors, Amber's got that more. That's why we're America's
Yeah, a picture of this group house. Here on this. Right now I'm on. The prop thing. They show. Well, no, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. They're flipping pictures of different walks. To be visible. Down walks.
I said I don't have to be visible.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Attitude.
Oh, fuck you on that.
Welcome to our second annual National Crop Hunger Walk celebration. And I am John Scogan, National Community Engagement Manager for Crop Hunger Walks. And my co-host tonight is Roberta Smith. Roberta, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry, I was muted. Hi, everyone. I'm Roberta Smith, and I'm Community Engagement Manager at Church World Service. It's good to see all of you tonight.
We have quite a few people joining us this evening, both here on the Zoomcast and also online. Just a couple of housekeeping things. If you would, please keep your voice muted for the duration of our time together. We expect to have a couple hundred people, and that gets to be a lot of noise if a few people are muted. As we go through, our various speakers will unmute themselves and start their little conversation. Following this evening's presentation, we're recording this, and so we will make sure that it gets posted to social media and also gets sent out across the country to our many Crop Hunger Walk team leaders and event coordinators. So Roberta, what can we expect tonight?
Well, you can expect that this will be an evening of celebration. With all that's happening in our world, and that has been happening in our world the last couple of years, we have so much to celebrate. And what we are celebrating is mostly because of all of you. So we want to celebrate our walkers, our volunteers, and our leaders who represent the heart and soul of Crop Hunger Walks. You know, our partnership with local agencies is so critical to our work here in the U.S. So we want to celebrate the incredible work that our local agencies are doing all across the country to help ensure that families have access to food resources. We also want to celebrate the transformative work that Church World Service is doing all across the globe. So when I say it's going to be an evening of celebration, we have a lot to celebrate, and interspersed in there will be a couple of activities, a couple of fun activities. So we hope that you'll sit back and enjoy this National Crop Hunger celebration tonight.
We do have a lot to celebrate. Many walks were back in person this year, even in the midst of all that maybe was wrong with the world. So many walks had their best year ever, and many had their best year in many years. So that's certainly something to celebrate. Planning teams continued their faithful planning of these events. We really could not do what we do without volunteers, and volunteers all the way up from event coordinators and treasurers and committee members and team captains, walkers, and all the supporters that we have who support all of our walkers. Also, we are celebrating Church World Service. This is the 75th anniversary of Church World Service and CWS Helping Others. And we have a video that we would like to share, and it is 75 years in 75 seconds.
Thank you. Awesome, awesome video. So what we didn't say earlier, that video just magically appeared, but we want to say that Andrew Gifford is managing our technology in the background. So thank you, Andrew, for sharing that video with us. So we want to go ahead and do our first activity for the evening. You just saw our 75th video. After watching that video, can you think of one word that you can share that gives you hope for CWS for the next 75 years? So Andrew is going to share some brief instructions on how we're going to carry out this activity. So Andrew, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. So I'm excited to be of help. There's a lot going on in this meeting, so bear with me if things don't go as smoothly as I hope. But like Roberta said, we're going to try a word cloud. This is going to be really fun. So there's a couple different ways you can vote. So the first way you can do it, I'm going to drop a link in the chat, so you can click on that link and vote. But what I'm also going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen once again, and you all are going to see a QR code that should pop up. And if you just want to scan that QR code with your phone, that will take you to a link. And actually how you scan that, if you've never done that before, though if you've gone to any restaurant or anything like that, you've probably done it, pull up your phone app, and then it'll pull up a link. So you'll go to that link on your phone, and then you'll see 3 spaces. So in one word, describe your hope for the future of the next 75 years of CWS. And you can do that once, you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times, but just one word each. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you a couple more, just a little bit longer to scan it. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull up, the links there. So if you haven't scanned it yet, I'm just going to go ahead and pull up the Mentimeter presentation so we can all see it go as we go. So go ahead and type and you'll see things pop up as we go. We'll let this go for a minute. All right, we got some good words coming on. We've got loving community, love, peace, generosity, all things that I see with the folks that I get to work with. Justice, absolutely. Good, good, good. So we'll go ahead and let this keep going. So feel free to keep entering that in and we will keep moving along. So John, I'll pass it over to you, and we'll be sure to, if you keep an eye on the Crop Hunger Walk Facebook page, and we'll be sharing this with your staff members too. I will share the final word cloud when all is said and done.
Awesome, awesome, thank you. So we have a couple of awesome guest speakers tonight, and I have the privilege of introducing our first guest speaker, Rick Santos, who is also our CEO at Churchill Service. This year, we welcomed Rick back to the Churchill Service family. He was a part of the family in the past, and he left and worked for a few other organizations, but just couldn't stay away from us. And so he returned this year as our Chief Executive Officer. So we're so excited about the future of Churchill Service under Rick's leadership. I saw some of the words that you posted, words of hope that you posted on our Mentimeter, your words of partnership and building community and being transformational. And those are all things that certainly describe what we hope for, what we're hoping for CWS in the next years under Rick's leadership. So I invite you now, Rick, to share some words with our volunteers, with our leaders. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Roberta. Good evening, everyone. It's really a wonderful time at Churchill Service, and it's just a pleasure to be with you today. I want to just take a few minutes. I don't want to spend too long, just with a few remarks. The first thing I want to just say is what an exciting time it is at Churchill Service. We're celebrating 75 years. I really had a chance to look back at some of the history of the organization and just how innovative we were, how important we were in the world in terms of addressing hunger, refugees, and emergency response, and how we continue that 75 years later, still as critical and relevant as we were 75 years ago. I'm so happy to join Church World Service for the second time. I spent actually 13 years with the organization prior. Half of that time, or more than half, was overseas working in CWS programs in Southeast Asia. And then the other half was in New York and the Washington offices. It's also exciting. It's the 52nd anniversary of Crop Hunger Walks. So really excited to marking these dates, not for anything other than it's really important that we find time to really recognize and pay tribute to all the great work that we've done, and also look forward to where we're going. You know, one of the things that Church World Service did over these 75 years, I mentioned the word innovative. Church World Service was one of the first organizations responding to the tragedy and the situation in Europe and Asia after World War II. In the 70s, Church World Service was doing innovative work on hunger, both on the policy level, but also practically in the work that we did overseas. The Crop Walks were formed in the 70s. It was a really important and very creative time for us. And I think, you know, one of the things that we can celebrate is how important Crop Walks are. You know, you think, you know, 52 years later, we're still doing what we do well. How many people have copied the Crop Walk since we started 52 years ago? Everybody has copied the Crop Walk because it's been so successful and it's been so important. So really, you know, what makes the Crop Walk successful is the people who participate, whether you're an individual, a member of a church, whether you walk for the first time or you've walked for 20 or 30 times. Really what makes the Crop Hunger Walk special are the people who participate. They come out and they make a commitment. Their commitment, I think, for me is twofold, and it's really, I think, two really critical commitments. The first commitment is to address hunger in your neighborhood and in your community. And that's one of the really special things about the Crop Hunger Walks, that we do this not here at home, but also you're making a commitment to ending hunger and addressing issues of development and emergency response and just addressing all the needs that we see overseas. So really, you know, Crop Walk is so special because it does both of these things. And the people who have walked in these events and who participate in Crop Walk you're amazing. You're just absolutely amazing. I want to just say a little bit about the last year and a half. Really, the COVID has been really a challenging time for us as an organization, as it is for many organizations. But what has been really, I would just say, inspiring for me is how Crop Hunger Walks kept on going. We kept on going virtually, and now we're starting to do the walks again. We innovated with things like the National Hunger Walk. So really, I feel just so happy that we've been able to continue and maintain, even with all the challenges of the pandemic. You know, over the last, as I started Church World Service almost a little bit less than a year ago, in January, I started of this year. Really, you know, I really wanted to put into focus a couple of things. One is that hunger is such a critical part of what we do, but hunger and health together are things that we really need to think about. So the work that we do in nutrition and in water, we really are an important organization that brings critical technical approaches to hunger and to health. The other is displacement and protection. This year has been such a crazy year. It started really in the wintertime with at the beginning in January and February with a lot of the asylees coming over the border. And then, of course, just over the summer with all the Afghan refugees because of the situation in Afghanistan coming to this country. And so displacement and protection for people who are in need, for the stranger in our midst that Jesus calls us to serve. I'm really just proud that that Church World Service has been able to respond to that, and it's still an area of real priority. And finally, disasters and emergency response are such a critical part of our work. We've been responding to disasters for 75 years. We continue to respond again, both here in the US and overseas. And so just really am excited about the directions we're going in the future. So finally, I just want to end by saying, you know, we can do so much. So walking is just one of the things that we do. We are raising funds for the work, the great work, for the impact with some of the most vulnerable populations and communities in the US and overseas. We are advocating. Our voices are really critically important. It takes good policy to address hunger. So being able to speak out really succinctly and directly about what it takes to end hunger through advocating with people in our states, advocating with legislatures on the national and local level. And finally, donating and volunteering are such an important part of the Crop Hunger Walks. So I just thank you for doing that, and I really ask you to continue to do that as we move forward. So thank you, Roberta, and thank you, John, for just a few minutes to say hello to everybody and to share some remarks.
Thank you so much, Rick. We are very blessed to have you as our CEO, and we're all looking forward to a great future with your leadership. I have just been noticing in the chat, people have been kind of saying hello and where they're from. It looks like North Carolina, from Illinois, Chicago, Northfield, Illinois. If you want to drop in the chat where you're joining us from, that would be great to see some of those cities and towns from across the country. Just take a minute here and let us know where you're from. Indianapolis, North Carolina, Berkeley, Ann Arbor, Michigan, Charlottesville, Pennsylvania, Ohio, all right, Naperville, Kent, Washington, Littleton, Colorado, Albany, New York, awesome, Livonia, Michigan, Las Vegas, New Mexico, that's great, Roanoke, Virginia, Schenectady, Erie, Pennsylvania, Lincoln, Union, Missouri, Wake Forest, Austin, but on vacation in Maui, joining us on vacation. How great is that? Dave in Rockford, welcome. Meadville, Kentucky. This is great just to see all of these places from across the country joining us tonight. Crop Hunger Walkers come in every shape and size, and we welcome everybody to walk with us every year. And at the end of walks, oftentimes we get many pictures of walkers and different groups of people, but there's also other walkers who join us, and oftentimes they have 4 legs. And so we have a little contest here that we're going to do that you are going to help us vote on a furry hunger fighter. So Andrew, do you want to let us know how we can vote for that furry hunger fighter?
Yes, so we asked for some submissions and we got a great response. Everyone loves their 4-legged friends, I know, I do too. And so once again, I'm gonna put a link in the chat. So if you look for that link, you can click on that. But then also I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen once again. I believe, yes, not that one, don't do that one, unless you wanna vote in the Mentimeter again. And so this, if you scan this link, this will take you to the favorite furry hunger fighter voting. And then towards the end of our program, we will announce the winner. So go ahead and scan this. I do want to let you know, if you use your phone and if you want to hold down on the pictures as you get to them, it'll share a little brief description. If you use a web link, like if you click the link and go to it, you can also just hover over that with your mouse and you'll see a little bit of a description if that's going to interest you in figuring out who you want to vote for. So you got a little bit of time, but I encourage you to vote for your favorite furry hunger fighter. Say that 10 times fast.
All right. Yeah, keep that voting going on your furry hunger fighter. That's great. We all know that our walks couldn't happen without our amazing volunteers. And we have people who serve on planning teams, on their team captains, their event coordinators, their treasurers, their logistics people, business sponsorship people, walkers, pastors, our volunteers in many of our churches and organizations. So we want to take a few moments to put the spotlight on a few of our really amazing volunteers. And we have a number of these from across the country. And so between Roberta and I, we will just go back and forth and do a spotlight. The first person that we would like to highlight is Kathy Neely from the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania Crop Hunger Walk. She serves as the treasurer of that walk. And some walk planning teams have really specific roles, and team members do only their role. Kathy has been the everything and anything needed committee member for over 25 years. Officially, she's been the treasurer of the walk, collecting money and submitting accurate reports, keeping everyone informed. But she also has worked behind the scenes in every capacity to make this 50-year-old walk all that it has been and could be. So thank you, Kathy.
Mm-hmm. And so this is Steve Geckler. Steve is with the Fort Collins Crop Hunger Walk in Fort Collins, Colorado. Steve has shown perseverance in walking for 50 years, and he now is persevering with online fundraising. He's not only a faithful crop hunger walker, but he's a great all-around supporter of church service and our mission. He and his wife give generously each year to our disaster relief program, and we know how critical those funds are, especially in recent years as we've experienced so many natural disasters, both here in the U.S. and in countries around the world. So thank you, Steve.
Janet Hoagland is from the Boulder County Crop Hunger Walk in Boulder, Colorado. She's the team captain for Community UCC, United Church of Christ in Boulder, Colorado. Team captains play a vital role in the success of our walks. They get the word out. They recruit walkers. They try to get as much interest going in their congregation or their organization as possible. And Janet has been a really strong team captain. Besides being the team captain, she's also been an invaluable member of the planning team for many, many years, always stepping up when extra help is needed. So during the walk's 50th anniversary, she led her team, Community UCC, to be one of the top 100 teams in the country. Congratulations, Janet.
So next we have Diane Hall. Diane is the treasurer for the Rita Jeffress Memorial Crop Hunger Walk in Reno, Nevada. Diane is such an integral part of the planning team for this walk. She's an awesome treasurer. That role is such an important role on the crop planning team to provide accountability and transparency for our crop hunger walkers. So we appreciate Diane just being an awesome treasurer and providing accurate reports. She played a vital role in helping to organize a really successful walk this past year. So thank you, Diane. We really appreciate you.
Jim Hutton is a member of the Glenbrook Crop Hunger Walk planning team in Glenview and Northbrook, Illinois. He's also the team captain for Team NCC, which is Northfield Community Church. Jim is an amazing team captain. He is so organized, and he tracks all of the team members. He tracks donations and tracks fundraising totals every year. He said the actual reason for the success of NCC's program is directly related to the incredible support that the walk has received from enthusiastic volunteer walkers and workers, and the extraordinary generosity of so many of their church members and families, along with NCC friends and families. It's been a combination of lots of good fortune, also known as blessings, that have kept us going. And it's just like Jim to move the focus from himself back to the team, which is why the team is so successful and raised over $26,000 this year. Congratulations, Jim and Team NCC.
Awesome, awesome. So next we have Patricia Palmer. Patricia is treasurer for the Northeast Connecticut Crop Hunger Walk. And Patricia has been described as an amazing treasurer, but she's even more than that. This walk this past year experienced transition in leadership, and Patricia played such a critical role in helping to ensure that that transition was smooth. And so she supported the transition of the new event coordinator into her new role. She also helped to recruit several new volunteers to help build the planning team for that walk. And it's important for us to note that based on her report, this past year, the walk had its 4th best fundraising year ever. So thank you, Patricia, and all of the planning team members for the Northeast Connecticut Crop Hunger Walk.
Sandy Carson is part of the Charlotte Crop Hunger Walk in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is a walker, a fundraiser, and a team captain for St. Stephen United Methodist Church. Sandy's been involved with the walk for over 25 years as a planning team member, as a co-coordinator, and as team captain for her church, encouraging an amazing level of engagement by the church. Sandy has such a passion for the cause of hunger fighting and a joyous spirit that encourages everyone to join her. And she does encourage everyone to join her. Because of that, she was the 15th top fundraiser in the country last year, and she continues to excel in her fundraising efforts this year. That certainly is amazing work, Sandy. Thank you.
Awesome. This is Diane Gianelli. Diane is treasurer for the Erie County Crop Hunger Walk. Besides doing all of the treasurer duties, Diane created an underground railroad walking tour that virtual crop hunger walkers could do on the day of the walk or just anytime they chose. That idea was well received and a great way to highlight the history of that community with the Crop Hunger Walk. So this was an excellent virtual crop walk experience. So thank you, Diane.
Linda Reed Brown is from the Columbia Crop Hunger Walk in Columbia, Missouri, and she serves as treasurer. She's done an outstanding job this year keeping Columbia Crop Hunger Walk's web page up to date, including information about all the local agencies. She is a big advocate for online fundraising and has encouraged everyone to do that. And that, of course, increases the total funds raised for the Crop Hunger Walk. Linda also promoted Facebook fundraising, and she continually provides communication to walk leaders, team captains, and donors, sharing donation updates in comparison to previous years, and promotes more ways for fundraisers to increase their impact. Linda does more than just the treasurer job. She helps make the entire walk successful. Thank you, Linda.
Next, we have Carolyn Yoder. Carolyn is a recruitment leader for the Blossomland Crop Hunger Walk. Carolyn has been involved with the Crop Hunger Walk for 28 years. In 2016, she couldn't attend the walk in person since she was visiting her daughter in Lithuania. To get her steps in, she and her daughter walked together around the residential neighborhoods in Klaipėda, Lithuania, and then later took long walks around the capital of Vilnius instead of taking the bus everywhere. She has a passion and dedication to serving those in need and goes above and beyond in helping those in need. And that includes her role as recruitment leader and team captain for the walk. So thank you, Carolyn, for your dedication.
Our next spotlight is AJ Shah from the Greater Triangle Crop Hunger Walk in North Carolina. AJ serves as treasurer. AJ led his team from the Janes Study Center of North Carolina to be one of the top fundraising teams in the country. He involves youth from the Janes Study Center to assist with walk day activities while earning community service hours towards graduation. AJ and his family provide a delicious traditional Indian meal for his team at the end of each walk to provide further connection with the Crop Hunger Walk mission to end hunger and poverty. AJ not only looks locally, but he looks globally. Thank you, AJ.
Next, we have Linda Ensor. Linda is with the Red Bank Crop Hunger Walk in New Jersey. She is an outstanding volunteer. She has involved her high school students in service projects for the walk through the International Baccalaureate program before COVID hit. But in 2020, she had them all do fundraising to help pay for promotion of the walk. That virtual walk had a record fundraising year. This year's walk was a hybrid event, and Linda became advisor for the team leaders from all schools as her task. She bought materials and taught the teens new skills, produced items to promote Crop Walk, and helped to raise so far more than $120,000, and that number is going up. Thank you, Linda.
Emily Hutton Hughes is from the Hamilton Crop Hunger Walk in Hamilton County, New York. She serves as team captain for the Hamilton High Road Walkers of St. Thomas Episcopal Church. Emily is an awesome team captain. She led her team to raise over $16,000 this year, and that is over $5,800 more than the previous year. That's a great 50% increase in income for her team. She encourages everyone on her team to reach out to at least 3 friends and neighbors. Not only does she help them reach out, but she provides them with a sample script and a donation appeal letter to help them in her outreach. She builds energy during the church service by doing call and response. She talks about hunger facts, and she gets everyone involved and energized for the walk. So Emily not only talks what she's going to do, but she also provides all kinds of resources for her team members. Exactly what a great team captain does. Thank you, Emily.
Next, we have Father Henry Doyle. Father Henry Doyle is treasurer for the Faribault Crop Hunger Walk in Faribault, Minnesota. He's been involved with the Crop Hunger Walk since its beginning in the spring of 1990. And for over 10 years, he has now served as the walk treasurer. This is a quote from Father Doyle. "I have never gone hungry unless I have chosen to deprive myself of any food or water. I cannot stand to see anyone go hungry, especially children. I advocate for those who are food insecure to receive food which nourishes them, not just fills up their stomach. Church World Service attention to provide clean drinking water to millions of people greatly appeals to me. I support and participate in the Crop Walk because Church World Service focuses on improving the quality of life in our nation and abroad. It is wonderful the Crop Walk has participants across faith traditions. I interact and become acquainted with Christians from different traditions. Church World Service's generous allocation of 25% of the walk's total income to our local food shelf speaks volumes." So thank you, Father Doyle. Those are really great words. We want to say thanks to all of our amazing volunteers who inspire us as staff. I'm sure our team would agree with me when I say that you inspire us to keep pressing on and doing this important work. And we thank you so much for believing with us that there is enough for all. And together we truly can transform the lives of our neighbors, both in our neighborhoods as well as around the world. So thanks again to all of our amazing volunteers. We salute you tonight.
We certainly do. Thank you, everybody. We're going to do another word cloud, and Andrew will get us set up in a second. This time, we want to know a word of what crop means to you. We have people on here from all over the country, as we have seen. We have all kinds of volunteers. People do all kinds of different things with the Crop Hunger Walk, but this is more personal. What does crop mean to you? So Andrew, if you'll get us set up with that.
Yeah, so once again, I'm going to share a link in the chat. So that will be right there. So I just put that there, and then let me go ahead and pull up the, whoop, not that. All right, sorry, everyone. Let me go ahead and pull up our Mentimeter. And just like before, there will be 3 slots. You can enter 1, you can enter 2, you can enter 3, but just 1 word each. And then that will populate into our word cloud. And I will go ahead and give you a minute to get this scanned. And like I said, just like we did before, we'll we'll go ahead and watch the word cloud populate for a minute, and then we'll move forward. But it's kind of fun to see it enter. So scan this or click on the link, enter your words, and we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and pull this up. The word cloud. It is already going strong. So let me make this big for everyone. Oh, great. We got community, which is a huge one, which makes sense because it is one of the few things that brings community together. We've got hope, compassion, love, care, action, clarity, serving. Good words. Service, of course. All right. Well, yeah, and like I said with the last one, we will be downloading the results, so feel free to keep entering those if you're thinking about them. But John, I will pass it back over to you and Roberta.
Great. Our next person who's going to share with us is Leslie Wilson. And Leslie has been the CWS program director in Asia for the past 7 years. Recently, she moved back to Pennsylvania and is helping to share about the work of Church World Service and the impact of Crop Hunger Walks, the impact that we have through the work of CWS. And so, Leslie, would you please unmute and share a few words with us?
Thanks for the prompt to unmute. And thanks, John and Roberta and Andrew for organizing us. Thanks to Rick for his earlier comments. And of course, thanks to everyone for zooming in to celebrate what has been another great Crop Hunger Walk season, which supports local and global hunger fighting. So in talking about global hunger fighting and what John just mentioned, from our 600 or so 2021 walks, I just want to share a little bit with all of you about the impact that Crop Hunger Walks have on our work overseas. Actually, excuse me, without Crop Hunger Walks, our work overseas, certainly in Southeast Asia, would not exist as it does. So to put it succinctly, after 7 years in Asia, I can tell you that impact from Crop Hunger Walks is evident every day. It's evident in our shared efforts of all Asia teams, their work to end hunger, but not just end hunger, to promote good nutrition, as well as better hygiene and health. And this year and last with health, we did a lot of work for COVID-19 education and prevention. And then always we're there in times of emergency to respond. Again, all thanks to the core funding at Church World Service that Crop Hunger Walks provide. In talking about a bit about Asia, which I'll do for the next few minutes, I know I speak for our colleagues in Africa, in Latin America, Caribbean, in Eastern Europe, all of our efforts in walking each year, each spring, each fall, sustain and help us expand our programs around the world. So thank you for that. So a little more about Asia. From July 2014 until early 2020, when COVID completely curtailed my travel, which was most of my work, I saw, as I mentioned, objective evidence, and I heard personal stories about all the good that Crop Hunger Walks made possible. Most vivid in my mind, I'm sitting here in my little village in Western Pennsylvania, and one of the most vivid memories I have is of children in hundreds of villages across all of Southeast Asia who had better meals, better nutrition that included protein. And that was largely and often because of Crop Hunger Walk proceeds and support. So thank you. I recall women's solidarity group savings, very important in all the world, but in Indonesia and in Cambodia for CWS, our women's savings group were able to expand or start up new because of the impact that Crop Hunger Walk funding made available to communities there. I particularly remember a crop-funded pilot project, sounds a little arcane, but very important, to reduce corn storage waste. So in West Timor, Indonesia, corn is the staple crop. It grows for a season, and then it must be stored for a very long dry season. And in the past, it could be stored for 2 or 3 months, and then there would be enormous waste and people would go hungry. But with our innovation, with our studies, with the different containers we tested, people were able to have their corn stored through the 6 or 7 months of the dry season. Again, crop funding specifically funded that pilot project. I saw in those communities efforts to improve planting. Again, global climate change, direct impact in the communities where we work in Southeast Asia. Drought is growing and growing, and people are wanting and needing to plant their crops more wisely, sometimes new innovations, sometimes remembering the way their grandfathers did it or their grandmothers, and returning to old ways of planting efficiently to save water. On the other end of the climate change spectrum, flooding is increasing in some of the countries where we work. And I saw amazing innovation around just simple ways to prevent or mitigate the impact of flooding in communities where we live. Or excuse me, where we work. I felt like I lived in some of them, but anyway, but you get the idea. Crop hunger walking, what we all do every spring and every fall, what our treasurers and our committee organizers and our volunteers and our walkers, everyone, what we make possible is evident every day in Southeast Asia. So thank you. Now, obviously I could go, I love telling stories, so I could go on and on, but we have a limited amount of time tonight and there are other aspects to our celebration. But if you'll permit me, I'll share one more story. And it dates all the way back to the end of World War II, which, as you know from the video, and you knew it before, that's when the organization that is now CWS started. And I want to mention, if I may, the foundational impact that I learned about Church World Service when I was relatively new back in 2016, when we celebrated the 70th anniversary of CWS in Asia. And a key reason that we came together was that it was the 5th anniversary of the Fukushima tsunami, earthquake, nuclear reactor disaster. And all of you will remember that historically. And it was a time when North American churches and CWS came together and responded massively to the people of Fukushima and had a huge impact for many years on recovery. Of course, recovery is ongoing, but in those early years. So at the 5-year point, we gathered together 70 years of CWS, which started partially in Japan, and then a recognition of the work we'd done at Fukushima. Now, the reason I want to tell this story is because of the people who were in that gathering. So it was in Tokyo, and there were about 80 people there. And one of the people who joined us was a man from Kobe, Japan, which is about 300 miles from Tokyo. Now, he was in his late 70s, so he had had his son drive him to Tokyo. And this, of course, seemed amazing to us all and to me. But when I learned the reason that he wanted to come, it was even more amazing and inspiring. His sole purpose was to remind us that we, CWS, Crop, had helped him and his family and his countrymen because we hired him to be a driver of one of our relief convoys. A small division, a long-lasting impact, and in fact, so long-lasting that Mr. Shimatori wanted to come all the way to Tokyo simply to say thank you. More amazingly, when Mr. Shimatori spoke, another man stood up to tell his story, which was also seemingly simple. He told us that his family had received a goat from CWS. And that goat, he claimed, he remembered, gave his family a way forward from the rubble of war. Now, I'm sure that the family had other help. And just as today, some of that help was probably from CWS local partners. But the fact that this man held in his mind and in his heart for 70 years that CWS had saved his family was just amazing. And so as we celebrate 2021 and all our great walks and all the good that comes from the walking we do, we're going to take a little break for the holiday before we start planning for 22. So I hope that we can each hold in our own minds and in our hearts the certain knowledge that walking the walk does change, does change and save lives. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Leslie. That was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that and truly just helping us connect, make that connection with how Crop Walk Funds really is transforming lives around the globe. So we appreciate that. So we're gonna keep moving forward with our program. And the next thing we wanna do is we're gonna have another small activity for you. You know, with Crop Hunger Walks, we've seen many costumes that show up on Walk Day. A few weeks ago, I believe we asked you to send us a few pictures of the craziest dressed walkers. So tonight we want to vote on those pictures. So we'll ask Andrew once again to share some instructions on how you would go about voting.
Just like before, I will put the link in the chat. So it is right there. And then I'm going to, let me pull up the QR code for you all. And here we go. So for outrageously dressed hunger fighter, you'll see some fun ones. We definitely got some good responses from this one. Go ahead and vote. I will ask that you try to get your votes in quickly because this is a fast turnaround for us to figure out who the winner is. But yeah, go ahead and click the link or scan the QR code, and we will go from there. Back to you, Roberta and John.
All right. You all know that Crop Hunger Walks raise money for the work of church world service in places like Vietnam and in Haiti, in Serbia, and in Japan. But we also work to end hunger locally in the United States by partnering with more than 1,600 local food banks, food pantries, and feeding ministries. So we want to share tonight a short video of a few of our local hunger partners that have been impacted by funds from your Crop Hunger Walk. So we'll share that video now.
On behalf of all of us at Food and Shelter, I want to say thank you so much to Cleveland County Crop Walk. We took big steps together to help alleviate hunger in this community. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Sheldon Good from Manna on Main Street in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Thank you so much to our Crop Hunger Walkers for supporting Manna. With your generous support, Manna can continue to work to end hunger in the North Penn region. Throughout the pandemic, Manna has provided roughly twice as many meals and groceries to our neighbors in need as compared to pre-pandemic operations. In fact, this past year, we served nearly 90,000 meals and distributed nearly 900,000 pounds of food to individuals and families, including children and seniors. We could not do this without your support. Thank you to all our Crop Hunger Walkers.
Hi, my name is Caitlin from the Food Bank in Dayton, Ohio, and we love partnering with Crop Walk because it really aligns with our value of the social determinants of health and trying to proactively lead a healthier lifestyle. So while you're also doing something great for your community by raising money and donating it to a local nonprofit, you're also helping yourself by walking, being active, building those relationships relationships with the people in your life. So every dollar that is raised through Crop Walk actually helps provide 5 meals to somebody in the Dayton area. So it is always a profound impact on the community, and we love partnering with Crop Walk. And we're excited about this year, and we're excited about years in the future.
Hi, I'm Eric Gardner with Lowe's and Fish's Community Services in Naperville, Illinois. And I would like to thank all the Hunger Crop Walkers for all that they've done to help fill our shelves. Thank you.
My name is Julius Buzzard. I work at Growing Hope in Ypsilanti, Michigan, and I am so thankful for all of the folks who participated in the Hunger Walk this year in Ann Arbor and across the nation to raise funds for organizations like ours and similar ones. So thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to it again next year.
Hey everybody, Father Justin Matthews with Reconciliation Services and Thelma's Kitchen here in Kansas City, Missouri. I wanted to shout out and say thank you to Casey Crop Walk for the incredible fundraising, the incredible experience, and for your generous support. We were able to help literally thousands of people because of you who come to us every year seeking nutritional assistance and food access at Thelma's Kitchen. You can find out more at thelmaskitchen.org. And again, thank you for your generous support.
Hey, it's Eric Cooper, President and CEO of your San Antonio Food Bank, and I want to thank the Church World Service for the annual tradition of the Crop Walk. You not only support hunger worldwide, but you help hunger here at home. Walking in solidarity, raising funds, making a difference. Thank you for helping us fight hunger and feed hope.
Hello, I'm Abby McCall, and I'm with the Winston-Salem Forsyth County Crop Hunger Walk. Locally, our walk supports Crisis Control Ministry and Sunnyside Ministry, as well as Church World Service. We are thrilled to have these partnerships and be helping neighbors locally and across the globe get access to nutritious food through the funds that the Crop Hunger Walk supports. We appreciate all the Crop Hunger Walk support to our local partner agencies.
Hello, I'm Jay Worrell, President of Helping Harvest Fresh Food Bank in Reading, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Crop Walkers, for helping us support our mission of feeding the hungry.
Hi, I'm Misty Beard with God's Pantry Food Bank here in Lexington, Kentucky. And I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the Crop Hunger Walkers. You've been sponsoring our organization with donations and food drive items, and on every September celebrating Hunger Action Month with us and getting people in the community involved in fighting hunger right here and across the world. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. This is Geraldine Frigetta Jory from Freehold Area Open Door Pantry in Freehold, New Jersey. I just want to send a huge thank you out to the Crop Hunger Walkers for everything you do for us year after year. I want you to know that your donations make a huge difference for us, and thank you for being the one for us. Thank you.
Awesome. So from all of our local partner agencies, thank you to our Crop Hunger Walkers for your incredible support. You're certainly helping to feed hungry families in all the neighborhoods across this country. So thanks for what you do. So now we're going to have our voting results, and I hope Andrew's ready because that was a pretty quick turnaround.
Give me 1 second, just 1 second. Okay. I'm just pulling up the last certificate for our winners. Sorry, this will just be 1 minute. I'm sorry. I had to populate the results real quick because I was playing the video too, so I apologize.
That's
for
okay.
The delay. And now I can do this. Just let me share my screen. All right, so we'll share Furry Hunger Fighter first. How about? So the favorite Furry Hunger Fighter, drum roll, if anyone wants to do it. And it is Paddington. Yay! All right, go Paddington. With a face like that, how could you not win, right? You know, great little guy. All right, and then last but not least, our most outrageously dressed hunger fighter. Didn't I pull it in here? I thought I did. Do you see a wide post? There it is. Okay, I got it. Red. And I'm pretty sure Red is actually, he's from I believe the Mechanicsburg Crop Hunger Walk in PA. And he's actually the mascot from their local Red Robin. But they dress him up in crop gear every year. And he's a great sport about it. There's some great videos floating around Facebook of Red doing all sorts of dances in his Crop Hunger Walk gear. So congratulations to both Paddington and Red for being our winners this year.
Awesome. And thank you all for participating in this fun activity. So we're going to turn it back over to John to close us out.
You bet. We have one final thank you video that we're going to show. It really expresses more than just our appreciation for what you all do, but also with words from some of our people around the world. So Andrew, if you could start that up.
Tulikaa mpaka wakati ingine tukasaidiwa na watu ya farming system na World Church Service ambaye ilitusaidia kuingia hiyo kuchimbia sisi maji, tukapata maji na tukafurahi na tukakawa sasa na nguvu, tukaosha nguo yetu kwa njia mema na tukakawa sasa na mwili mzuri.
Lo primero es un agradecimiento y lo otro es pedirle que sigan apoyando este tipo de iniciativas porque mucha gente lo necesita.
Thank you very much for Crop Hunger Walk, Rice Money for Timor Zero Hunger.
Hii kazi yote ambayo tumefanya hapa tumefanya na kusaidiwa na kikundi cha CWS, ndio wametushikilia na wametufanya mambo mazuri kwa sababu ndio wametusaidia kupanda na kutupa maarifa. Asante.
Thank you for that. Certainly when you walk, you change lives. And I think we all sort of hear that and we know that, but tonight is really, we want to reinforce that message that what you do is really super important for the lives of so many people around the world. So far this year, we have raised about $5.9 million through our Crop Hunger Walks. And that number continues to go up every day. So thank you so much. If you're a treasurer holding on to some money, please send that in. That would be great. We also, that also translates then that we have right now about $1.4 million for local agencies. That's 25% of that 5.9 million. So that also is a great number that is going to stay right here in our local communities, helping hungry people in some really tough times here in the United States. We have 5 top walkers who have done really an outstanding job this year. And we have a graphic of that. Andrew, if you want to pull that up. Combined, these, there we go. Paul Chan from Heart of America Walk, Doug Wyman, Hunger Walkathon West, Rick and Sandy Herberg from Charlotte, Diane St. Clair from Farmington, and Taylor Beard from Charlottesville. What is really amazing is that these 5 people have, those 5 have raised over $212,000. Just those 5, and that is just amazing to me. So hopefully that provides a little inspiration for all of us to get out there next year and do it again. We are wrapping up our time here. I want to say thank you to Roberta and Andrew for your great work, and the team here. Also, Rick and Leslie for your sharing of stories and some vision for the organization. I have to say that I am really touched and inspired by the outpouring of generosity and your hard work year after year. I know many, many volunteers do this year after year after year. It's kind of their thing. And we appreciate it so much. Your hard work pays off big time. Hopefully you have seen tonight and heard and felt that your hard work really does make a difference in the lives of people every day, both locally in your neighborhood and around the world with people that you'll never meet. And for me, that's really one of the highlights of a Crop Hunger Walk, is that we can be selfless like that and really look out for our neighbors near and far. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And hopefully you will stick with us again next year for another great year of Crop Hunger Walks. And we look forward to December of 2022 and celebrating once again. Thank you so much. We have recorded this and we'll get that out. And the videos will also be made available through staff and social media. So have a good evening, everybody. And thank you so much for joining us and for all you do.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
God bless all of everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
God bless you.